A very good afternoon to you, gentlemen.
Good afternoon to you.
All right. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. What do you have to say about the country's construction sector, if we're to start off?
I think there's a lot that is happening. I will say there's been a lot in terms of materials. In terms of, basically, I'll talk from a point of finishes point. There's so much that people don't know about. There's so much in the factory, there's so much that is being imported that the general world that who are also in construction, even the industry players like the quantity surveyors, architects are not even aware of. So what we do is we want to bring this information to the general public.
As you want to bring it to life.
This is available, such things. It's really hard. You'll talk to some of these graduate QSs or even contractors. They're not even aware of what product is, like how, in what sizes they come in terms of even the technology. You'll find that people have been very adamant in terms of embracing the technology. They are not even aware. You find, like, if you look at the prefabs, one thing I think we think that it has not been really embraced is that people don't understand. They don't even understand it's there. They probably don't even understand it's cheaper. So we want to sort of open up this to the public, have a portal that we have all the construction players together and we can interact and of course pass them as much as now making construction procurement very easy.
All right. Dennis, I'm sure you have to have had some background when it comes to construction. So what prompted you, or what did you see and decided, you know what, we need to put it out there, people do not know? Where did you see the loophole?
Okay. In terms of information, the way evolving, what do you say it? Like the way you can have everything on your phone, like technology, you can literally have the whole world on your phone. So we are in the construction sector. We saw the opportunity that what if someone was maybe seated in the house and wanted to change the paint on one wall, and that person doesn't need to go to the location where to get the paint.
And most of the times it's very far or very
far.
Or a very hectic area.
Exactly.
Yes.
And sometimes you might only know one person. So from what we've developed is we'll get a pool of almost, by the time we are done, almost the entire maybe country in terms of suppliers and what they supply in terms of finishing.
You make it easy as dialer delivery.
Very easy. You can just get it.
All right. And before we talk about how exactly this is going to work, still in the mortars construction and the sector and how it's working, when it comes to mortars regulation, how has it been in terms of the cases of fraud and restoring belief in this sector? Because there are quite a number.
Exactly. We are still in trying to draft a good policy in terms of, you see, us guys, we are just providing a platform whereby you should come, list your products. Then the general public, we are having merchants, and we're also having the general buyers who want to come and buy products in the portal. So what we are trying to do is to protect the buyers majorly. So you see, because there are people who would come and list, and probably they are fraudsters. We've had even expressions from some international people who want to, but we are also trying to develop a good way of trying to have checks and balances so that we also don't have fraudsters who are posting items like you've had this in maybe in other places.
We've seen it, especially sometimes you're trying to sell a car, and it's all fraud, and there's a lot of robbery and theft involved in it. And now, as you've mentioned, you're trying to protect the buyers.
Yes.
So you're planning to create a pool where everything is in one place, yes?
Exactly.
And you say it's to benefit the buyer.
Yes.
So apart from the buyer alone, how is it going to benefit? How many parties, first of all, would you need to be involved in all this? You'll have how many stakeholders? You have the buyer?
The stakeholders, we have the buyers, we have the general merchants, we have the hardwares, Actually, we are on a campaign drive to literally almost do all the hardwares, list all the hardwares in Kenya. We have the suppliers, the main suppliers, and we have the general guys who just sell. Probably like today, you're having this product. You're just a merchant. You get. Then we have the professionals. We have the quantity surveyors, developers. We have the contractors. Those are the guys now who offer this.
Even the agents.
Even the artisans themselves. And actually, with the artisans, it becomes a bit more easier because if you look, the NCA, the National Construction Authority, is trying to regulate. So we can borrow a leaf from those guys. As in, if you are graded by the NCA, then it becomes easier for us to at least list people who are accredited,
all right,
not just any other person.
All right. So how is it of benefit to the general merchants?
The general merchants it will make construction very easy. I'll give you for an example. If you need to buy, like me when I was practicing, if I needed to specify an item or buy, I'll probably walk all the way to Mombasa Road, or even just or even in industry area to see. But if you have it on your phone, then you can have reviews. You can compare 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have the contacts for the guys. You might probably be going to Mombasa Road to look for a door that is in Kiambu, and you live in Kiambu. Or you live in Kitengela. You might be traveling all the way to industry area to get a door that is just next.
All right.
So
what about?
Just want to bring people together to reduce also the cost of business.
All right. What about the suppliers?
The suppliers will benefit in terms of a platform to sell. If you can only sell via billboards, you can also sell via social media. So if someone has the app and it reaches a wider market, for you it is a plus in terms of your outreach.
Okay. Now, and do you think this will, now moving to the artisans, do you think this would be, it will be providing, this is a way of providing maybe a safe haven for the talents, now the artisans?
Exactly. It's a good way. You know, most of these artisans, like we deal with them at a low level. They are very good. They don't have that exposure. As in, no one knows them. But at least we give them a good platform where they can showcase their skill. As in, people can know they exist. You get.
Because it's very hard for them to get out there and sell their work.
Yeah, sometimes, just as we were coming this way, at a roundabout, we saw someone raising a board and saying he's looking for a job to paint. If that guy was listed in the app, maybe he would just be seated somewhere and just waiting for that call. So sometimes it brings a lot of convenience.
All right.
Yeah.
That's very, very true.
Yes.
So have you done a pilot run? Maybe you can tell us how exactly the app is going to work. And for those, the buyers, the general merchants, the suppliers, the professionals, and the artisans out there, how exactly can they join?
We already have a pilot run. It's very simple. You just log in, you sign up. After you sign up, you give us your details. They are critical details that you're supposed to give. Then if you're a merchant, say, for example, you want to sell an item, the categories have been at least identified in, I'll say, sort of British standards in terms of construction. For those people who do construction, at least they understand. In terms of, we've tried to really categorize them in a way that it can be very easy for the buyers even to sell. We don't want a mix-up of things. Maybe you're selling gypsum in some other places. So you come and list yourself. Then you buy. After that, at least you can post an item. Then you can post pictures of your items. They also the category for the prices. We are not. It also depends. There are places that you feel. Do you deliver discounts? You deliver after how many days? Or maybe order. Are there items on order? So it's a whole. It actually solves the whole construction problems that we go through every now and then. For the professionals, it's free of charge.
All right.
To list yourself. Well, the other merchants, the listings, you can go to the site. They are all listed, all the categories that you have to enjoy. For the professionals, it's free of charge. We want to put it in a way that people can. You know, the professionals, architects, and the quantity surveyors are the biggest players of the industry.
Even the land
they
surveyors,
drive, So we want them to give us their reviews. We will be getting a lot of reviews from them. They are the users of the product. They've used, take for example, paint. They are the one using it on the site. So once those reviews are very important in terms of now our client.
All right. And Dennis, you're the one in charge of content. How will
Yeah.
you guys assure that each and every person gets a fair share when it comes to Martha's business? Or is it going to be like an application for the taxes that we have where you rate someone? Or how will you make sure the professionals, everyone gets a fair share when it comes to business? Because it will be very sad for someone to join and then somehow you're not making money. Because at the end of the day, that's what you're trying to help them do, make money. So how will that, how will you be, what keenness are you using to make sure that everyone makes money?
Actually, if you go to the app, you will find that if you put in your location, assuming your hardware is in Lavington, if someone in Lavington, actually, we can say that at the end of the day, it's about how the market, the population and all that also comes into play.
All right.
So if you are a professional and your office is in town and someone logs in and is in town, maybe he's a bit, say, it's easier for him to go and see that professional that is very close to that person. So at the end of the day, it's about, you have to have that location, like say the Uber. You can only request for that car that is next to you.
That is next to you.
Yes.
All right.
So
that makes
even supply of paint and all that. So if you get a hardware that is very close to you and it supplies what you want, then that gives you that platform.
All right. Well, that's fair enough. Okay. Now, taking a look at the industry as a whole, the local industry is forecasted to grow by maybe 8.7% this year and remain steady until up until 2026, if I'm not wrong. Now, this will see it outperform nearly all sub-Saharan countries. Is it possible that the focus on the Big Four agenda, especially in housing and manufacturing, enables the sector to flourish? The fact that it's a plan that the president has,
Yes.
and as a legacy, in fact.
Yeah.
So, is this what is going to make it flourish?
I believe
Is it
so.
going to help the industry?
I believe so. Construction, construction is very diverse. As much as I look at it from this point, as much as we will be looking at the general big development. But you see, like today, you want to refurbish your studio. That is still construction.
Yeah,
you get.
that's very true.
So, from where I see it, I still a lot of growth. We still have a lot of demand. There's a very big shortage in terms of houses and decent houses. And nowadays Kenyans are very bright. They are believing that they are now waking up to nice finishes. You get, and that's why we also want to open people to these products that some are locally here. The others to be imported. So we want to open them to some of these nice things. We want to make construction we actually want to make it a good thing.
And with that said, Anthony, construction is not a sector that is very new in this country. It's actually one of the oldest, if I'm not wrong. Now, but there is a lot of corruption. Is that what, from where you sit, would you say this is the reason why construction may not be making a lot of money? Because we might even be hiring people. I mean, we've just talked about crooks and fraud. Sometimes you hire people who are not certified or who do not have the skills. But as a buyer or as someone who's in need of services, you might not know. So how, from where you sit, what do you think of the construction sector when it comes to making proper profits and having professionals and even suppliers not suffer?
Yeah, I'll tell you, one of the things that probably we might solve is you'd have these, generally maybe these fundis that come and ask for quotations. You'll get someone tell you, I'll use probably 10 boxes of tiles. So most of the clients don't even know what are the sizes. You get. With these things, when you expose this information to clients and now they begin to have an interest, they'll even now start knowing, well, I probably need five whatever to do. So let the contractors who've been probably cheating their clients, let them take money based on their workmanship or probably their competence. You get, and not this has happened a lot. I know I'm in the construction industry, and someone will come and tell you, I'll need 15 million to do this house. Maybe 14 is for materials, this is whatever, but you come and see whatever materials this guy had told you, they're not even bought if you do a good checklist. So we need to educate people.
And would you advise, all right.
Yeah, maybe I'd add one thing is, at the end of the day, if I'm doing a house for a client, a person is going to use it, the best way to maybe look at that fraud and maybe stop it is you be part of the process from the beginning to the end. And if you're buying a house that is like furnished, like the contractors who just do apartments and they are selling them, if you're buying a unit that is not already done, like pre-construction, that period, you're buying from a plan, I would advise the guys who are buying, they go through the entire process of from construction, what your unit is going to be, what is going to be done in your unit and all that. Then some of the guys who are buying units right now, they want to custom make their houses.
Yeah.
You can just buy the structure. For the finishes, you tell the contractor, let me just do my finishes.
Right.
From that end, you will have the quality that you want, and again, you will the aspect of fraud will be minimized a bit.
All right. And I'm sure you've followed up on the story of the SGR.
Yes.
And as using foreign managers when it comes to mortars construction. Of course, maybe the SGR may be a big deal, but it's still construction. So how are the both of you making sure that you're having a proper campaign, or you're boosting local talent?
The SGR issue, to me, I think it's very unfortunate because there's a very big talent out here.
Yes.
Kenyans are doing amazing
So you
things.
do agree?
Yes.
Instead of having foreigners do that job, we have our fellow Kenyans who can do the same thing.
Definitely.
Exactly.
All right.
Kenyans are doing a very good job. Plus, if we have like good training to some of these fundis here, they will do a very wonderful job.
Amazing
Yeah.
jobs.
So I think and that's why, like I was even saying earlier, we need to bring this information to the people. That's why we are even doing, we are listing the professionals, the artisans or whatever for free. So that at least, if you don't get it right, as in most of these guys are getting it wrong because they're doing things the wrong way. If you have the proper consultants, that's why we are going to be running blogs, campaigns, and every other thing to educate people on how to approach construction.
All right.
They get the wrong results when they do it the other way around.
All right. So you'd still encourage Kenyans out there not to lose hope. Construction is the way to go.
Kenyans are very talented.
We are.
Yes.
And you know, the funny thing is that other countries celebrate us.
Definitely.
Many Middle East countries say we Kenyans are hardworking. It's a shocker when in our own country we're not celebrated. Now, any last words, very quickly?
My last word is, I think we are on the right direction. Just log in to a portal. There's so much that, of course, we
Your portal, which is?
Wazimat.com. You can also join us. There's there's some awards on 20th. The Coin Awards are arranged by sponsored also by NCA. We'll be there. We'll try and teach people how it's very easy to get in the portal and understand at least more of the things that you can always get it from our construction industry.
Yeah, my last word is let people be in touch with these things. Let them not see them like they are not possible. If they just put their mindset and just try to see that we are doing the right thing, then we'll do something good.
All right. Thank you so much for giving us the